All right, welcome back, everybody. HSC podcast. We got a movie segment coming at you. You're watching sports section. Appreciate you falling into the movies as well. Big Buck Steve on the mic and the Big Smooth. Movies, man, we've had a lot of great movie segments lately, and continuing on, I think this week too. This will be a fun one. It'll be short, but yeah, short. Get it? Let's be short.
Boom.
Little boom. Because our movie of the week is Short Circuit. If you haven't been following us, we're doing a movie of the week each week, just kind of breaking down the whole of a movie, giving our own thoughts on it. Is it a watch? Is it not? Sometimes it's an older movie, that a lot of people haven't seen, which is great. This one, however, when we're talking Short Circuit, most people, I think, even if they haven't seen the movie, they can see Short Circuit in their head somehow. When you start talking about the movie being, the robot, and they're like, oh, because it's like one of those first like robot interactive movies that was maybe mainstream. There's probably other ones, but this one I felt like was really big. Even though I mean, it did 40 million box office, so
Got a sequel.
and got a sequel. So, Short Circuit, you picked the movie of the week. Why don't you start off?
Well, I don't know if people know, but we're in Oregon, and Short Circuit was filmed in Astoria, Oregon, and it's its 40th anniversary this year, and June 5th through the 7th, or yeah, they're going to be celebrating Short Circuit in Astoria. So if you want to make a trip there to see Steve Guttenberg and Ali Sheedy and Johnny Five,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do. But
um,
anybody watching, go check it out, especially if you're a Short Circuit fan.
so for us, we were like 8 years old when this came out. So it was right. And I don't know, the stuff like some of the stuff I still quote today. Like I'll be telling my wife and I'll be like on my phone looking at stuff and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I need input. Need input.
Need input, which is the best part of the whole movie is that he's just looking for input.
Input." And then I mean, gosh, when we were kids, how many times do you go, "Your mother has a snowblower."
Yeah, and nobody like people don't wouldn't get that. And that was kind of funny because it's funny I said that. I told you my daughter, she's watching with me, Brooklyn's watching it, and I'm like, hey, your mother's a snowblower. And she's just like, what does that even mean? And it's just I know what it means, you know what it means. Anybody who watch Short Circuit knows what it means.
Yeah. And yeah, for me, it's a cheesy movie. It's an eight, it's a it is what if you want to be like, what are the 80s? Here it is. You got Ali Sheedy, who has like a jerk boyfriend or ex-boyfriend who's like trying to take the dog to get money for the dog to give into like animal research.
Right. And it's like he's over the top too, like aggressive, the boyfriend is, and like totally invasive of her space and all the stereotypical things, right? That
Yeah.
you would put in the movie, like they put it in there.
And then you got the Fisher Stevens, a Jewish white guy in brownface, playing
And
an
playing an
Indian.
Indian.
Where I've seen interviews like where like I think it was I'm gonna butcher his name, but Jay Chandrasekhar, from Broken Lizard, so
Oh,
Super Troop.
yes.
He was talking about how his family was watching it, and the dad was like, "See, we have like Indian representation here in the movies," and he's like, "Dad, that's a white guy."
That's a white guy.
And then dad was like, "Oh, he's doing a good job."
Well, I would venture to say that a lot of people wouldn't even know the difference, number one, if it was, and that people have watched that movie or saw it when they were younger or loved the movie probably didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, how could you?
It was later, like when he was in Hackers, and I'm like, "What? He was in what? He was in Short Circuit? What?"
Trying to make the connection. You're like, where?
Yeah. And he was in two? How's he even Short Circuit 2 also?
He really does a great job in the movie, though. I mean, not just portraying the character he's asked to portray, because obviously, his lines are written a certain way, and he has to, play that Indian character, but just his overall acting is so good in everything he does, but especially in this movie.
Yeah, because I wasn't even thinking of him more like watching it again of him being of Indian descent, but it was just like him and Gutenberg were just nerds.
Right.
Like, oh, we gotta talk to a girl?
Again, they were out there with the stereotypes, right? They were hitting every
Yes.
stereotype
The
perfectly.
80s. 80s had the stereotypes.
Because even with what's his name?
G.W.
G.W. Bailey.
Bailey
Uh Same thing, right? He plays the chief of security and the military personality perfectly and over the top, like you gotta blow everything up and gotta take control. Then Gutenberg, obviously, he was good at this point in his career. I think he was really at the top of his game,
Yeah. I mean that was his time.
right? As far as the movie goes, you gotta take it for what it is, right? You gotta understand this is a 1986 film that's trying to use like a robot in the movie, but make it like realistic versus, they didn't have CGI where they're just like, here's a robot, do whatever you want it to do. Like it was limited to what the actions the robot could do,
Well, think about it. 1986. Here's your first sentient AI being.
right?
Johnny
It,
Five
Johnny
was
Five.
alive
Well, number five, as you pointed out, because without Who's Johnny, the song, you don't get the name Johnny Five.
for the second movie, yes. But yes, he's number five is alive.
And I mean, that's a secondary topic, but man, it's like, how many times do they need to tell us it's coming before people realize that whatever you see 20, 30, 40, 50 years before in the movies, you're going to see later in the world.
Yeah, forget about iRobot. You have number five before
Yeah,
that.
right. And like we saw in the movie when they get when those robots turn their the red eyes, right? That's the thing in the movie that the eyes go red and the robot's in is bad and it's
Kill
gonna blow
mode.
stuff up. Which is interesting too, because if you think about the robot, right? So this robot can barely do anything. It the dude knocks it over with a shovel, and he's like falls over. But it also has this laser that blows up everything.
Yes. Well, and that's where you get into, I think that's where like G.W. Bailey's character is like, we got to destroy this. He's out in the town with this laser.
That just destroys anything on target, right? It's just
Yes.
like boom, just explodes.
Because what they like, to be fair, they're like this. There's a malfunctioning robot on the loose that could blow up everything and kill a bunch of people.
You gotta maybe he's right. You gotta go and blow it up. But the whole story, the premise, right, is not only Gutenberg and Fisher Stevens, their characters who are the inventors, they obviously don't want their invention killed, and so their goal is to save the robot or figure out what's malfunctioning. But Ali Sheedy plays the role of the liaison almost between human and robot and nerd and robot or
Right.
lab rat.
Well, and they set her up because she basically runs an animal rescue out of her house. So she does rescue and cares about living things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and she has to explain though, like a lot of things to not only the robot, right, throughout the movie, but you feel like she's doing that with Gutenberg and Fisher Stevens characters too,
right.
like trying to help them understand what being alive really means.
It's interesting though, like Fisher Stevens' character isn't doesn't really interact that much with anyone but Gutenberg, really.
No, I think he has a couple scenes. He has the one I think
Oh,
that,
right, where he put he keeps her down.
yeah. And then the other one where he's in the truck with the other security guy.
Yeah,
That's a great scene.
guy from Running Man.
Right. This goes back to when we were talking about Die Hard bad guys you never knew were in other movies, right?
Right. I was watching. I'm like, what? That guy's from Running Man.
That's when you know you watch too many movies when you recognize some random dude from Running Man.
Yeah.
Overall, though, it's a fun movie because it's a first of all it's a unique idea with the robot coming to life, but there's humor in it. Gutenberg's good at that, but the robot's kind of funny throughout the movie. They really did well with the robot's lines and what it would feel like for the robot to come alive and not understand certain things. Just as simple as the scene where he's trying to make the pancakes. He's looks like he's doing it right. Then he's like, add eggs, and he puts the shell in there,
Right.
and you're like, well, technically he's doing it right because it doesn't say crack the eggs; it says
Right.
add
He's just being
eggs.
literal.
He's
Yeah.
just being a robot. And they do a really good job, I think, throughout the movie portraying that, and then him learning also, and that's a part of really what life is, right? If this robot can learn, why isn't it alive?
Yep.
And so I think that's kind of the basis and the moral, but it's they do it well. There's a lot of comedy in it. There's it's a over a top enough with some of the action that makes it fun to watch because it's not like, boy, this is a great action movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then it's cute because, like, for us, it's nostalgia, but it's like, oh, your daughter, you could introduce her to Three Stooges through this movie.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier because again, a lot of people wouldn't get that reference these days, right? I would even people that watched a lot of movies or TV sometimes don't even know about Three Stooges just because it's a different um, style of comedy than a lot of people are used to.
Well, what do you think about that? Like for like your daughter, 80s movies is what the Three Stooges was to us when we were her age.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And then it's funny you bring up Three Stooges because he Die Hard, right? Bruce Willis references it too. And you just see it more, and like what you're saying, it's probably because it's that previous generations 80 movies or 80s TV or whatever it is, older style comedy entertainment, for that generation. The end is a little anticlimactic, but it's kind of cool in the sense, I'll ruin the end in case you ever seen it, but I would like to have seen a little better ending.
He outsmarted him though.
Right. And then I guess that's kind of the idea, right? It's all about the robot learning and developing thoughts and now at that point, outsmarting the humans. But overall, great movie. I don't see any reason why if you haven't seen this, like you should check it out. The one last thing though for me with this is as you watch the movie, it's crazy that the laser's nuts, right? That's just insane. But then the things he can do, he's limited by his build, but he's supposed to be like this super tough robot that they were planning on sending back over enemy lines, right? And I just the part where he's in the van and like his arm's messed up and he just like takes it off and grabs a replacement and just like snaps it back on.
Right.
You're like, that's not built tough, right? We're not talking about Ford built tough here.
Right.
It's like a little thing he snapped back on and off, right?
Well, to be fair, they were probably just prototypes too. They weren't really, they were
Right,
trying to sell the things.
right. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they're sending it behind enemy lines, but the fact that he just pops it in and off, it's kind of funny to me because you're like, that's not really structurally sound.
Yeah. It was the 80s. It was a different time.
Well, and they had to make it the robot be able to interact with the actors, right? So
Right.
they're definitely limited on that. Where if you had CGI and AI, you've got all the stuff where you can,
Well, yeah, because I think it was puppets. As a
yeah,
puppeteer.
yeah, which is wild, right? How do you even you imagine the actors having to interact with that, and how I don't know how many shots or how many scenes you have to shoot to make sure it looks right every time.
Right.
It's a different kind of filmmaking. But overall, great pick for movie of the week. Love it. Short Circuit, check it out. 1986. And if you're so inclined, check out Short Circuit too. They got a second one.
But it's only Fisher Stevens and Johnny Five.
Yeah, be prepared to lose your big stars in Gutenberg and Ali Sheedy, right? All right. So topic number two, we've been talking a lot of 80s movies. We've talked a little bit about this before, but this is something that I came across this again, and I just want to I don't think people understand how good some of these years were in the 80s for movies. But I have to highlight 1984 again, right? So the year is 1984 and we're talking movies. So I'm going to pull up the list just for reference, but I mean, look at this list. Give me your first thoughts on the 1984 movie list.
Like what I'm looking at. Well, you've got all types of movies and all types of like classics. So for instance, you've got Footloose, right? Karate Kid. Um, your favorite, Red Dawn,
Oh, Red Dawn's so good.
right? And then you got a baseball movie, you got The Natural. Um, you've got spoof movie, you got Top Secret. Then you got Romancing the Stone and Temple of Doom. So two adventures, but different styles. 16 Candles. I mean, Police Academy.
Yeah, this came up because we were talking Revenge of the Nerds before, right? So all these movies you just named, these are really good movies, right? And then we're still look at, oh, what was the number one movie? The Terminator.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, let's just throw in Ghostbusters. So now you've talked Indiana Jones, Karate Kid, Red Dawn, Footloose, Beverly Hills Cop, Nightmare on Elm Street. You said 16 Candles, Romancing the Stone, Gremlins, The Last Starfighter, Police Academy,
And
Splash,
your brother's favorite movie, The Muppets Take
The
Manhattan.
Muttons Take Manhattan. That is his favorite. He said that before, which is one of my favorites as well. Um, Purple Rain, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Children of the Corn, The Natural you mentioned, Splash I mentioned, but
Once Upon a Time in America.
right. We talked
Uh,
about that a little bit before.
here's
Uh,
like some hidden gems. Remember Cloak and Dagger?
Cloak and Dagger's so good, and so many people have not seen this. That's one of my all-time favorites when I was a kid. Even like Bachelor Party, right?
Classic.
But you're
Repo
like,
Man with
what's the
Emilio Estevez.
40th? What's the 40th rated movie in 1984? Tom Hanks's Bachelor Party?
We didn't mention the 80s kids trauma movie, The Never Ending Story.
Oh my gosh, The Never-Ending Story, along with Children of the Corn. Those would be like two of the most trauma because if you're watching Children of the Corn in the 80s and you're a kid, you shouldn't have been.
The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, jeez. And don't forget the movie 1984.
You had Search for Spock.
Best Star Trek. We talked about that.
Dune.
Well, maybe not the best. Dune, Starman. Two of the top ones IMDb are also, I mean, Amadeus we didn't even mention, which
Yeah.
got one of the highest ratings. That's technically IMDb ranks it as the number two. How do you have this many good movies in one year? That's the question.
Did we mention this is Spinal Tap?
Nope. I just saw it too. This is Spinal Tap. How? Like, I mean, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget Arnold, throwing some Arnold, Conan the Destroyer, along with his Terminator.
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy how many. Here's a like Tank. Remember Tank
Oh man.
with James Gardner and C. Thomas
Yes.
Howell?
Yes. I like James Garner. Man, there's just so many. So this is a year like you could sit down and you couldn't. How long would it take you to watch all the good movies from 1984?
A long time. Because we didn't even mention like the first feature film of Joel and Ethan Coen, Blood Simple, which is a very dark movie. Like,
Yes.
you like, well, I had you guys watch Barton Fink. This one's even darker.
Well, those guys are pretty dark. So let's give a couple, see if we can get a ranking here. I mean, I see how IMDb has it, but I don't agree. So we're gonna have to give our own ranking here. I want to start with Beverly Hills Cop. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. I would put this in the top five that you must watch from 1984.
So hard. So wait, what? How about this? We each pick three movies. So
You
we
don't
go,
have to rank them. Just if you yeah, just say it if you let's just put one in the top. We'll do
let's
top
do a
three.
top six. You have three, I have three. That way they have six movies people could choose from.
All right. So I'll my first one's Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay. I'll put The Karate Kid.
Oh, that's so good.
Because the thing about that, it's so relevant nowadays, still with Cobra Kai.
Right. Well, and if you haven't seen The Karate Kid yet, you're living on a different planet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta put Terminators though, even though I have to agree with IMDb on that. Like, you have to watch the Terminator. This is Arnold. It's we just talked about AI and robots, but this is a
Right.
different kind of robot than Johnny Five, right? This is the Arnold Terminator, so Terminator's got to be in there.
I mean, and I gotta go Ghostbusters, man. Ghostbusters.
And so I feel like people have probably seen most of these movies, so I'm gonna give one that maybe a lot of people haven't seen because there's 50 to choose from. It's so crazy. It's wild to me that one year can produce so many good movies. But with that said, you gotta, man, okay. I thought I had it, but I'm gonna change it. You already mentioned this movie, but this is underrated. It's one of my favorite movies, Romancing the Stone. I gotta put it in because I
Over
don't
Red
think a lot of
Dawn.
people have seen that.
Since you'll go obscure, so I'll do one too, just because, the others like Ghostbusters, everyone's probably seen Karate Kid as a lot. I'm going The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah. How many times have you seen that when you were a kid?
I don't know, a million. And it's funny to me, PG back then, I mean, it's PG-13 now.
Oh, at least, right? When they said parental guidance, they just, like I said before, they just meant if your parents want to let you watch it, go ahead. But it doesn't mean it's okay.
I guess they did have PG-13 back then, but some of these, I mean, come on. Okay, Red Dawn was PG-13.
Well, you mean Conan the Destroyer was PG.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some R though on some of these that definitely should be R, so that's good.
Right.
But when you
Oh,
look at it, you're right.
here
There's
you
quite a
go. Guess what, Steve?
what's that?
The first PG-13 movie was Red Dawn.
Wow.
So that is why here, yeah. So PG-13 was made because parents are mad at Gremlins and Temple of Doom.
And so when Red Dawn came out, they were like, this needs to be PG-13, huh?
Yeah. So that's the thing is Gremlins and Temple of Doom are PG.
Yeah. Man, that's a tough one. Because Gremlins, there's no reason to make that PG-13.
Oh, there is. I mean, that's very gory.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, in that sense, I guess I'm thinking more content of,
It's not
just
like
because it's a
cussing and
movie.
stuff, but it's just like kind
Right.
of it's same with like Temple of Doom. You got the dude ripping hearts out.
Right. Right. But it's still Indiana Jones just running around doing
Yes.
Indiana Jones stuff.
Well, and that's where, as parents, you get to decide because it's your guidance.
Right.
There's PG-13. My son's 9 and he's watched a bunch of PG-13 movies.
Yeah, again, I look more at the content of the movie and, make sure that, Brooklyn's able to watch it versus, I guess I'm not looking at too many ratings unless it's a newer movie I haven't seen.
Well, for instance, brought this up a bunch. Jaws is PG. I am not having my son watch Jaws.
They'll never go in the ocean. Yeah, I mean, and I remember watching Jaws when I was that age. It is pretty brutal in some parts. I think Jaws 2 though was worse. It was more brutal.
I I I don't think I really may I might have seen it one. I was like I stayed away from Jaws movies.
Yeah. Well, Jaws 2 is the one where the kids went out. They were out sailing, the kids were out sailing, and Jaws is out there eating kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, they all come together like
Yeah, so the kids go day sailing or whatever, and Jaws
yes,
follows them.
yes,
Yeah,
now I
so
remember. Yeah. Oh,
and so that one to me was more brutal
yeah.
because it's he's out there attacking the kids. But yeah, you're right. Like that's not something that I guess it's just still parental guidance, right? Like if it's
Yes.
something you want to watch. It's interesting that you noted that because then now I'm looking, they're all PGs, but except Red Dawn and then Dune must have came out afterwards because it's PG-13.
Right. So it's like half of the movies should have been PG-13 from that year, but they were after before
Right.
Red Dawn. So, and that's why that's kind of crazy. So 84 is the year that people are like, no, man.
Well, I guess when you make 50 great movies, like there's a lot to choose from. But yeah, you look at some of these movies and there's there's questionable content in a lot of these. I
Well,
mean, even 16 Candles when you think about it.
yes. Ghostbusters is PG.
Yeah. Yep. Ghostbusters. Um, Never Ending Story obviously is PG, but man, you're right. That's everybody has trauma from that. So the only one that probably should have fell under PG is the one that you're like, man, this is so messed up.
Yeah.
And even Footloose, right? There's at least it has, I guess, that religious back to it where it's not as graphic as it could be. Man, what's your favorite movie out of the bunch?
Like if there's one movie that if
If you
I
can
can
only
only
choose
keep,
one, that's a tough question.
I guess if we're gonna talk like the movie I've probably seen the most, it'd have to be Ghostbusters.
Yeah, God, it's so good too. My favorite is Red Dawn. It always will be, but Ghostbusters and Beverly Hills Cop, I could
Yeah.
watch them 100 times and never get tired of it.
But a lot of those are the ones like if any of these movies, like if Top Secret was on TV, I would stop
Oh,
and watch it.
great movie. Yeah, I mean, these are the type of movies that you can rewatch. There's not many of these of the real good ones. Of course, I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I watched Conan the Destroyer quite a few times, but it's not something I'd pick up today and watch regularly. We just happen to have it on, tape, so it was just one of those. It's like Conan the Destroyer. Let's watch it again.
Well, that was what was nice, and we're gonna sound old, but like in like 84 and stuff, there's a lot of popcorn flicks, right?
Yeah. Well, and there's other years though that were comparable to this one. We did this, is a in a year top five before where we weren't going through all the movies, but we were talking year over year, and I think it was like 83 had some great movies, and I mean there was a lot of years that gave each other a run for their money as far as when you look at those that top base and where they had like 10, 15 good movies,
Right.
like at least, right? Have you ever seen this Streetwise movie?
Streetwise.
Streetwise. I never even heard of this, but it's an 84, so I gotta watch it. It got like a great IMDb rating. It's about this
It's a
documentary.
documentary.
Yeah, teenagers living on the streets of Seattle.
Oh, yes. I saw that in high school.
Huh.
I remember that. Yeah. Like they did stuff like they like call a pizza place and order a pizza with like toppings that no one would want.
Right. And then they go get
And
out of the
then they wouldn't show up for the pizza and then they'd go to the dumpster after they throw it out.
Yeah, that was an old school street trick. I'll have to watch that one. So if you're with me on this, check out Streetwise. Tell me what you think. If you're any comments on movies to review as well, next week we'll have a new movie of the week. But
Your
we'd love
turn to pick.
to review some. What's that?
Your turn to pick.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get some comments on it. We'll see what happens. I'll try to throw some shorts on and see if we can get some comments for next week's movie of the week. Otherwise, I'll have something good for us. We'll have a great movie week. All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. So great movie of the week, and just last thing, 1984. Check out these movies. We gave you six top ones, so let's just give the six real quick. We said Ghostbusters, or The Terminator, Ghostbusters, Beverly Hills Cop,
Karate Kid,
Karate Kid, Romancing the Stone,
The Last
and The
Starfighter.
Last Starfighter. So those are the six that we're gonna say check them out. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.